It's 21 years old, it's a cult object, and it's still as popular now as it was all those years ago. The Volkswagen Golf GTi has stood the test of time, and the anniversary issue Mark III is the latest Golf to woo the motoring masses. Success was inevitable, and it was true both of the first small, light, lively GTi Golf Mark I and of the second, more grown-up GTi Mark II, which was larger and a little heavier. In response to the demands of time for luxury and safety, it became the epitome of the manoeuvrable and powerful, the young sports car. Back in the early 70s, the German company were building a new family hatchback called the Golf. Thanks to a rogue band of VW engineers who tweaked the engine for maximum performance and stiffened the suspension to give better handling, we were given the delights of the Golf GTi.
The Golf was designed as a replacement to the Beetle, effectively, to be a bread and butter vehicle which would sell in large numbers, and in fact it quickly became Europe's best-selling car. And when Herbert Schuster, who was head of the development team then, put a hotter engine in the car and resorted the suspension and presented it internally, they thought, well, this will be very good as a limited performance series. We'll make about 5,000 of them, and that'll be it. And everybody at Volkswagen was totally astonished at the response the car received from customers and the press. It was the first performance family saloon.
The first GTi was born sporty and simple and around £7,000 when new. The small rectangular Golf Mark I didn't have any shiny trim. The bumpers and the window frames were finished in matte black paint instead of chrome, and GTi was emblazoned on the front and rear, whilst a sport steering wheel and the golf ball-shaped gear lever knob contributed to the pilot's feeling of the drive. Secret of its success is the engine of this first GTi, more precisely the unusually good ratio of unladen weight to performance. This gave acceleration to 60 in exactly 9.2 seconds and a maximum speed of 114. The Mark I still feels hot on the heels of current GTIs. In '84, Mark II arrived. The shape became more rounded and wider, and more power play entered the stage. It was more comfortable, larger and heavier than the first one, but despite improvements, the Mark II was slower accelerating from 0 to 60. We asked a couple of enthusiasts why they love their GTIs.
The car that I've got at the moment is one that was previously owned by somebody who had it modified, and the car is 175 bhp with a 0 to 60 speed of something like 6.5 seconds. So it's a very exciting car to drive. It's a car which doesn't age, and it's one that I feel very comfortable in. I would have to say that when I get into my current car, I always feel excited about it. I've not lost my enthusiasm in the 8 years that I've had this car.
Yeah, I've had this car for the past 4 years. It's got central locking on, electric windows, rear headrests, tow bar, BBS alloys, nice stereo. Basically a nice car, really. I'm very happy with it, to be honest. It's, like I say, reliable, economical, fast enough. Bodywork on it's superb. Warranty on Volkswagen is absolutely excellent. 6-year paint warranty on, no quibble at all. Like 12 months we had a new tailgate fitted, no argument whatsoever. It's done 90,000 miles now, never used any oil. It gets a service every 6,000 miles. I just say spot on, really.
The Golf was now becoming one of the best-selling hatchbacks, and the 1 millionth GTi rolled off the production line in 1990. It wasn't just popular with the public, there was increasing interest from rally drivers who enjoyed testing its capabilities through all terrains and weather conditions.
I remember working with dealers when the first Golf GTi was introduced, and I think even they were quite taken back how the demand for that car got going. And then Volkswagen Motorsport got involved and used the Golf GTi for rallying and racing, and that again just helped to improve the image and seeing that it was a very good sports hot hatch.
In '91, the small body of the first Golf gave way to the solid large format of the GTi Mark III. In contrast to its Spartan ancestors, the Mark III has anti-lock brakes, traction control, power steering, electric operation for virtually everything as standard. The engine has progressed, increasing in size to 2 litres, but the car doesn't feel that much quicker. If anything, the progression hasn't been as dynamic after 21 years as it possibly could have been. Having said that, the Mark III is considerably heavier. The new Mark III, with a price tag of around £16,000, feels agile and alert, with plenty of grip and quick reactions via its sharp and well-weighted power steering. It stops confidently, although there's still a hint of the pedal sponginess which blights the Golfs of yesteryear. 21 years on, the Golf GTIs had to develop to survive. sacrificing the raw power of Mark I for the safety and up-to-date technology of the Mark III. The Mark III may not still be the class leader, but it's a solid car with a great engine and it can wear the legendary badge with pride. However, the old magic is still there with the GTi Mark I. It's a raw driving pleasure, and that's what this car is all about. I'm sure all GTi enthusiasts would say it beats today's Golf GTi hands down.